Now that you know the basics of building a systems model, let's look at one together. First, we will identify the system. We need to specify the boundaries and level of detail we are interested in. So for this activity, let's build a model focused on money in a savings account for one person. Next, we want to identify our purpose. Now, besides understanding how to build a model, the purpose of this model is to understand the opportunity for saving and accumulating money. Remember, people build models to help understand a situation, identify problems, formulate opportunities, or support decision-making. Ask yourself, what are the main features of this model? Consider money added to the savings account and how interest is earned. For our model, we'll also assume that money is never withdrawn from the account. Never withdrawing money might not be realistic for people, but for now, that's the situation with our system. The next step is to create a draft of our model. I want you to brainstorm the model's elements. What do you think should be included? You might have brainstormed elements like paychecks or gifted money being deposited into the savings account, and interest too. So, we get a paycheck, which is an element, and we deposit it into the savings account. That deposit is a flow, and the savings account is another element. This will give us more money or a larger balance in the account. By having money in our account, our system is also influenced by another element, interest. The amount of interest represents another element, and the interest deposited into our account is another flow. The interest earned will lead to more money in the account. Now, let's pause and look at the model you created. You see this part that looks like a loop? There's an arrow going from one element to another, back to that first element. This is called a feedback loop. A feedback loop connects one element to another and influences the state of the element. It's a closed chain of connections from an element through flows that are dependent on the state of each element. Now, I know that was really wordy, so let's apply it to our example. The amount of interest earned is based on the amount of money in the account. The amount of interest added to the account affects the total amount of money in the account. The more the account grows, the more interest it earns, which makes the account keep growing. Now, this is an oversimplified model, but you can see how the visual helps to articulate the concept of savings. If you expanded your boundaries, what else might you add as elements? Maybe spending or withdrawing money, that would be realistic. Now our model might look like this, showing money deposited, a loop indicating interest earned, and another loop with spending. Of course, now that there is spending included in our model, the growth of the savings account would be slowed down. Additionally, the amount of interest earned could be impacted if we have reduced savings or a lesser amount of money in the account. Is there anything else you would add to this model? Some of you might recognize that there might be some time that influences the balance in the account. So, how often someone receives a paycheck might impact the model. Oh, and depending on the type of account, banks will typically only credit interest to an account monthly. Yes, all of these additions will increase the complexity of your model. As we look at models in the social sector, they can become quite complex. But by using visual systems models, we can think about the bigger picture, articulate what is happening, and better understand how our system behaves.